Hello and welcome to the Real Life Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan. This is a platform where we get to engage, interact, learn from icons, gurus, moguls, trendsetters, trailblazers, difference makers, and world changers. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm so excited today because in the building, I've got one of the... I don't even know how to describe this guy, but he's got a force. He's a force to reckon with. This is someone who's been around the music industry, Zambian music, for a long time, and he is broken records. He's got a lot of names, like Flava Boy, King Buga, Macky II. Is that how you pronounce the name?
Whatever works, man. Whatever works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an honor to be here. Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
How are you doing? First of all, I just want to appreciate you, for coming out this time. You know what time it is now?
Yeah, it's almost 10 p.m.
And I respect you for that. I just want to appreciate you for just coming out this time and sacrificing to just come sit with me and have a conversation. I'm so grateful and I'm humbled. Thanks
a lot, man. I'm really impressed by the few episodes that I've been able to watch. I love the content. I love the thought process. So it's always amazing to be part of something that's this progressive.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. How is Olijaba going?
So far, the album has done amazing. But also, so we did like 5 videos already. We did a video for the intro, Beautiful Night, 13 Dawe, the song I did with Exile, and what else did we do? Yeah, we've done like 5 videos.
Okay.
And we're about to put out like 3 more videos. So I know it will do better numbers. Right now it's on 9 million streams on Boomplay.
Wow.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
Wow. How much money have you made so far from the album, from the streams that...
Why would I tell you that?
I just want to have an idea, right?
So like, just so you have an idea, I won't mention actual numbers, but people have like different deals with, for example, I did my deal with Boomplay.
Yeah. So your album is exclusive on Boomplay?
So it was exclusive for 1 month, and then it goes onto other platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and different platforms. So it was exclusive on Boomplay for one month. And because of that, we had to strike some sort of deal where they pay you something in advance, and then they pay you for monthly, depending on how good your streams are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say streams are making more money than the CDs that you used to sell a long time ago?
Of course not.
Not?
Of course not.
CDs used to make you more money than the streams?
Okay, so obviously the evolution has been there, like from records to cassette tapes to CDs, and then it went to people downloading the music. So people would download like 99 cents for like a song.
Okay.
Like a song, they'll download it and then play it off like iTunes or whatever. But then it moved from people downloading music to streaming the music.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. When you download the music, you download it, you pay for the download, and it's yours.
Yeah.
You're playing the song offline. When you're streaming it, you're not downloading the song, you're just streaming it.
Oh.
So it takes like thousands of streams for you to make the equivalent of 1 download. You know what I mean? So, of course, you need to have like millions of streams for you to make actual money that you'd say like, okay, yeah, I made money off that album.
You still haven't told me how much you've made,
Yeah, that was me dancing around so that I don't tell you. But yeah, people make money of streams, and especially if you have like a deal with Boomplay, like the one I had, or the one Your Maps had, or a number of other artists where they pay you up front, you are able to do something with that money.
Okay.
Because it's a lump sum. Not Yakobati every month thing, or a streaming, or for like something. But yeah, it's not something I regret. I think we're getting somewhere.
Great stuff. Do you remember how many songs you have? You've produced? You've released?
I think it's impossible to tell the number of songs because, like, I've been recording music for 20 years now.
20 years, yeah.
Yeah. So my first studio recording was in 2002.
Yeah.
So consistently, like now, you know, I've got writer's block, I'm not feeling inspired and ABCD. But then when you're a struggling artist, there's no such thing as I've got writer's block. Yeah, forever waking and forever recording music.
Yeah.
And for us, there was a time where we had our own studio, Danger Zone Studios.
Yeah.
This is really early in my career before we even blew up.
Yeah.
So you have the studio to yourself.
Yeah.
So every day you're recording something. So there are 365 days in a year. Yeah. So if you are recording something every day, imagine how many songs you had.
That's a lot.
And then 5 years of doing that, 10 years of doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So obviously the more successful someone becomes in a particular field, no matter how little the success is, I think there's a level of complexity that comes with it. You know, they say success cripples inspiration or motivation, or there's just something that makes you more relaxed. Like that sense of agency that you had when your rent was almost due and it's no longer there.
Great stuff. But has there been moments where you go on stage and you forget your lyrics?
Not really, because I only perform songs that are really popular.
Okay.
So by the time the song gets really popular, what more fans now?
You know, because I've seen artists who've blacked out on their song on stage.
So there are situations where, like, and that's why I said not really. Yeah. There are situations where I record an album and we are about to do like an album launch. Yeah. Obviously, the way we record music now is different from the way they used to record back in the day.
Long time, yeah.
Where someone has like songbook. Yeah. Now, people go to the studio with the idea of what they want to do and they have no idea about the lyrics. Yeah. When they're recording in the studio, that's when the lyrics keep coming, or that's when they start writing, and then ABCD, boom, they have a song. So that song is a brand new song to you also. You know what I mean? So you have to learn the lyrics.
Yeah, you have to go back and rehearse the lyrics.
Now imagine if you are recording back to back your album. So you record this song before you even know the lyrics, you're already working on that song, and before you know it, the album is done and you have to do an album launch. So now you're going on stage performing all these new songs. So I get why sometimes artists
tend to forget the lyrics,
not know the lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Great stuff. Are there certain lyrics that you regret spitting on certain songs?
I hate regretting, man. I hate regretting. Even like decisions that I've made in my life that were really bad or had some sort of backlash, I think the experience really taught me something. Yeah. So Kulabati, of course in that moment you're like, oh man, I wish I didn't do that. But that's like wishing you didn't do.
Can I remind you of some lyrics that I feel?
It's not a regret. It's more of like, if I'll do this, I'll do this differently. Better. Yeah. Not really regretting, yeah.
I want to remind you, I want to remind you of certain lyrics. A long time ago, there was that song that you featured Dandy. You know, life organiza monga life yanga ni chimuvi vose vavakamba palini. And then there's another one in 2010. ndani weyakonkapo ine nazichosapo narikosa mukatina kunseva kamba. Do you remember that?
Why would I regret that?
Was that right for you to put that in a verse?
So like when I was coming up, obviously, like right now, if you listen to my music now, you've seen like
it's
there's
different.
a lot of transformation and
there's a lot of maturity in it.
And ABCD.
Yeah.
So every person, you know, they say when I was young, I used to do childish things. When I grew up, I put away all childish things.
Yeah.
So when you're young, you need to do childish things. I'm telling you, you need to.
Yeah.
It's because they never had
time.
Like, they never got that out of the
moment.
system. Yes, you need to be a child and be childish while you are a child. And when you're an adult, you need to be an adult. So I think that whole process is very important. Me being reckless with my lyrics and just being on stage, realizing like, oh, my words have so much power that I can't just go there
use
and scribble
them
whatever.
anyhow.
You know what I mean? So without me experiencing those things, I don't think I would have
grown.
been the artist that I am now.
Yeah.
Because it took, like, people telling you things and you experiencing them are two different things.
Yeah.
That's why they say experience is the best teacher. I had to go through those things. So again, I don't regret those things. I learned from them.
Great stuff. Talk to me about the strategies that artists use to get to a certain level and what you think you used and worked for you. Because I believe there are a lot of artists coming up out there, a lot of them, and they're wondering, how do you make it big in Zambia? If maybe you're a hip-hop artist, or let's just say music in general. What are some of those strategies that you use that you think this can work for any artist?
Even when I tell my story, I think it's more on for motivational purposes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like this is the blueprint, like, or the formula to this.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, any business that involves emotions does not have technicalities like 1 + 1 is equal to 2.
Yeah.
You know, in our business, 1 + 1 can be equal to 4. Yeah, because people don't respond the same way to like different artists or different brands.
Yeah.
I always give this example of how like a Nez Long or a Bobby East can get away with saying, I love ass. And then those same words, I love ass.
Yeah.
If Ebo Chungu or Pompey said them, it would be like a career-ending blunder.
They're finished automatically.
Yeah. So all of us have like our own independent path.
Yeah.
And even when you study like the greats, because all of us had to study the greats, the legends, you had to be inspired by something. But even when we do that, I think we should not strive to be like that person or be that person, but we should also understand that people are going to respond to me differently and I'm going to impact people differently. So I have to create my own path. There's a lot of self-discovery that all of us have to do in order to know like our full potential or what works for us and what doesn't work for us. So unfortunately, that's something that every artist has.
But what worked for you? What worked for you?
The number one thing is I had to learn things about myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Even before like mental health became like a big thing, I was really curious about what makes me tick.
Okay.
Like, for example, all of us have like times where we are inspired or you have a muse, what they call a muse, like a source of inspiration. That same thing. It's still got an accident. Today you're inspired, tomorrow, but believe me, you have that one thing that makes you inspired or gets your creative juices flowing. You have to find it. Because once you find it, it's easy for you to be like, oh, today I'm recording a song. I need to be inspired while recording a song. You go to that muse and get the inspiration.
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing. So I think pretty early in my career, apart from poverty being my number one motivation and inspiration, I had to learn things about myself that made me work better. I had to surround myself with people who were chasing the same dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it gets lonely out there, you know what I mean? And it's a long, rough road. It's always better and it's always cushioned when you're chasing this dream with your friends or peers who are also chasing something similar. We started at Danger Zone Studios. Of course, we had like a bunch of other places where I was before, like Wave of Change, Zilile Media, and different places. But at some point, I ended up Danger Zone Studios, where we had Wayoka, Dandy, Afunika, Baska, and so many others. And together we chased this dream. You know, so it's things like that. It's you knowing what works for you and what doesn't work, but also you knowing it's going to be a rough road, so I need to surround myself with people who are also chasing the same thing, and also remaining focused, remaining disciplined. I think that's how come I still don't drink or smoke even up to now. It's because of that's like I had to teach myself discipline.
Does that mean you've never drunk or smoked?
On your birthday, I'll take a shot for you even today. But like drink it,
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. But what was driving you? I understand you guys worked really hard to push yourselves, you, your team, Dandy Crazy, Afnika. What was the force behind that drive that pushed you so much that you were in a quest to bring your music from the Copper Belt to spread it all over the country?
Like I keep saying, I think poverty is the number one motivation or motivating factor. I think every time someone has like a plan B or like is treating this thing like a hobby, they always give this half-baked effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you know, like, if this fails, I have nothing. This is all I have. I think people go all out and they have no reservations. I always bring up this Shefi song. He had a song called Nakadimonimpia on Amnesia.
I listen to that.
So Nakadimonimpia is like, yo, I hustle like I'm broke, like I have no money. Now that same mentality, I think if we can be in a place where we hustle like our life depends on it. I've been to like certain places on the Copper Belt, and I see a lot of Lusaka people doing amazing things.
Really?
So my theory is that if you go to a place, you see things more clearer than people who've been there the whole time. So it's like the draft up or chess. Someone who's just passing there is able to see it. But if you move that piece there, and you, because you've been looking at the board this whole time, I think some moves are not.
You become more familiar with the place.
So a lot of Copperbelt people come here and see opportunities like everywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, there are a lot more opportunities here than on the Copper Belt, and a lot more, like the market is vast and people are a bit more exposed here.
Yeah.
So there are more opportunities here. So when someone who grew up on a Copper Belt where there are just literally very few opportunities and 3/4 in Kumaini, when they come here, they know they have to fight like, hey,
Now, you wanted to be an accountant when you were growing up, right? Back in school. Did you love school?
School is something I had to do.
You didn't like it?
I think a lot of kids don't love school. I think if you got about school, you know what I mean? Even when you get to, even people who are like, cherish school because some of these years are going to be the best years of your life. You're going to look back later and really remember that you enjoyed or you had some of the best times in school.
Yeah.
The times they are referring to are not like the times when you're in class reading. No, it's you, your friends, and all that extra.
I don't miss school myself.
You don't miss school?
No, I don't.
You don't miss. Oh, you had a depressing.
It was amazing, but no, I don't.
But
I wouldn't love to go back there.
Yeah, but so that's what I'm saying. School happens in a time where like your body is going through a lot of things. You are turning from a boy into a man.
Yeah.
High school, college is like you are hitting puberty, you are falling in love for the first time, you are testing freedom and independence. There's so much happening there that time, whether you like it or not, it transforms you and it will always have so much sentimental value attached to that time. They say the music you're listening to when you're a teenager, you'll forever love it.
Yeah.
Because of that same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I loved school, but we grew up in a time where education is the key to success.
To success, yes.
You know what I mean? We grew up in that time. And I'm one person who believes like school does not determine whether you're going to make it or not in life. Not even that, whether you are smart or not, because I know a lot of smart people who've never been to school. You know what I mean? But the experiences and you being in class and just what you taught, even things like the solar system or the locust or what, even those things that seem useless to you, it opens your mind to thinking differently. Yeah. Even the Findex or Pythagoras theorem, all those things, they train your brain to think a certain way. All those calculations are not in vain. Yeah, I just wish like our school curriculum could just include a lot more practical things or things that really prepare us for like the real world. Okay. But otherwise, I don't regret going to school.
Did you pursue your accounting?
Of course not. No, not because, and shout out to all the accountants out there, everybody but at some point, I realized that I really sucked at math. I hated it. Even up to now, calculations. Otherwise, if you're a number, but I realized really early that I sucked at math, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life really just doing that stuff.
So at what point did you realize, okay, my area is music? Was it in grade 12? Was it
10th grade?
Grade 10th.
Yeah.
You knew I'm gonna be a full-time artist.
Not really like a full-time artist, but I knew like I'm not interested in accounting anymore. Yeah. I want to do something that's art related. Yeah. And one thing that helped again is in high school I used to take art. Okay. I actually have a distinction in art. So I used to take art. So I knew, okay, no push school in a college or university or whatever. I need to do something that's really related to this thing that I really have passion for. Luckily, when I was finishing school, I had already found or fell in love with music so much that this is really what I want to pursue. So when I was thinking of like colleges to go to, I did my research and realized like all these colleges like Evelyn Horn, ABCD that have like music, it's almost like they don't prepare you to be an artist, but more of a music lecturer or music teacher, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be an artist. So the best way I was really going to learn was practically doing it. So going to studios and making the actual music.
Awesome. Now, getting back to music, I respect you for one thing. You're one person who understands music so much. You know what works. You know how to get to my terms, put in here and there. You understand the seasons. You understand how people react to certain things, and then you go for it, and then you hit it, and then the song becomes a hit. And I believe, and then it's unfortunate that we can't talk about Macky II's career without Macky II's beef with Slap D. Unfortunately, you know, because I believe that hip hop then was more in Lusaka and it wasn't in the Copper Belt. So maybe one of the things that triggered that fame from your end was to hit on Slap D, right? Because I remember the first time I came in contact with your music was Dreams. The game's Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, that was like in 2006.
Yeah, Dreams. And then there was This Is Why I'm Hot. And then we just knew who's this guy who does remix from US music. And then now you came up with your own tracks.
Yeah.
But then hitting on Slap D was like, oh, okay, this guy wants some attention.
I don't even think it was like, it's like, first of all, me and Slap were cool before the beef. Like, we're cool. I produced like, I shot and directed a video for him way before the beef. Me and him used to be managed by the same guy at some point. There's this guy called Sync Sounds. Me and him went to like the Bon and Bread Awards for 2009 together. You know what I mean? So me and Slap were cool way before this thing. And I was coming. It's whether the Slap thing happened or what, I was coming. I was destined to be here. Yeah.
I love that. Nothing
was going to stand in my way and I was going to find a way. I was coming. You know what I mean? I don't think, I don't believe in those things like, oh, if it wasn't for this, this would have, no.
Yeah.
There's just stuff that is destiny. It's fate.
Yeah.
And I believe for me, I was going to find a way. I'm someone who's determined enough. I was going to find a way. And believe me, if it was just some Jim and Jack who was throwing shots at Slap, he wouldn't have replied. He wouldn't have even, he wouldn't have cared. Yeah. But at that very moment, I was being nominated for awards. I had already won like 2-3 awards already before that incident. I was coming, bro.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned from the beef?
So that's a good one. No one has ever asked me that. Like I said, I'm someone who really hates regretting because I feel like I learn from even the moves that I feel like didn't make sense or were wrong. There are two ways that I write music. Mm-hmm. The first is it needs to be something that I really, really like, genuinely feel like this is it. I should be saying this. Mm-hmm. This is the message that I should put out.
Yeah.
The second thing is it needs to be what people want to hear. This same message that I want to say, I need to say it in a way that people would want to consume it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs to be easily digestible to people.
Yeah.
So now what was happening in that when we recorded Zambian Hip Hop, which was like the first official diss song from me to him, was one, after what he said at the awards, so everybody was like just waiting for me to say something.
Yeah.
So it was already satisfying that. And two, after people were saying all those things, obviously I was, I don't know, agitated or
you're provoked.
Something. Yeah. So both those two principles were
they led to something.
Yeah. One, I was being honest to myself because I was really feeling this too.
Yeah.
It was exactly what people needed to hear. My whole life, believe me, I don't believe in publicity stunts. Okay. I don't do these things where, oh, hello, so in Nalanda, so in Holanda, so, you know, to ala kwata my numbers. I don't do, if I say something, I really,
you mean it.
Mean it on, I'm really feeling it.
Yeah. Okay. Great stuff. The money that you have right now, I know you've got some money. Mm-hmm. Would you say all of it is out of music?
Music is related to it in some way or another.
Okay.
Even music, that money that we make outside the music,
yeah, it's connected to music.
We walk into offices and we are even able to walk into those offices because of who we are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in Gatabaga, what's time forget?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But music opens doors for so many other opportunities.
As a big artist, famous, of course, good looking. When I was listening to one of your interviews, I think you mentioned your age, and I was amazed because I think more pushing on my age, boss.
I'm old.
But you work out.
I try to be as consistent as possible. I don't think I can credit my appearance to the gym. I think it's more of genes. Quite a fair about from family.
But you eat everything like shan.
Yeah, I'm not choosy. I'm ashamed to say this, but I don't really watch like my diet. Of course, like every chance I get, I go to the gym, but I'm just not as consistent as I was maybe last year when I was working towards like this goal. Because we wanted to shoot like a shirtless album cover and I needed to be in shape and ABCD. So we had to like 8 months like go to the gym consistently to get to a certain point. And we did. But after that, sometimes chero somewhere and I can't go to the gym. And gym for me, it's always better if I do it very early in the morning before I start my day.
Yeah, I do that in the morning as well. The question I wanted to ask you was, of all the women in the world, why Hantenga, your wife? What triggered you to her?
It's a lot of things. I think with relationships and emotions, I think sometimes it's even hard to explain to the person why you love them. It's a bunch of small things, big things, you know what I mean? But the most important thing is chemistry. Because you should be able to talk to this person and feel like they understand you. You know what I mean? So me and her are just compatible.
Yeah.
It's the small things that are even hard to explain. But
how do you resist the pressure from other women? Because I'm sure your inbox is loaded.
Every artist goes through certain stages.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for artists who have this like overnight stardom where yesterday no one knew you, today you are a superstar.
Yeah.
Because now, all those things you're talking about, you have to learn them now because people want you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for an artist who like it's a gradual process.
Yeah.
It means you are learning those things slowly, and you have time to learn them. So how to manage your money.
Yeah.
You now kwatapo kapini kaluva wachita misuse ABCD paka wasambira by the time ulese mkwatama 10 pin 50 pin ni at least kamane kalibelela bantu mpya shina mutumba mbokushina wafiro kushire kafe mutumba. So I think it's the same way with all those things. Like women, there's this guy, one fan who troubles you in your inbox. She likes your music. 2, 5, 10. Now, even when there are like 100 people inboxing you, you're just like,
I'm used to this.
And again, like it's a process. You have to trust the process and go through all these things and learn from them.
Yeah.
So maybe those questions are like for like your maps or a Chile one or like people who are like no respect to any of these guys, but you have to go through that process where you get famous and there's this excitement, and then at some point the excitement dies and you know how to handle things better.
Yeah. What would you say are the killers for young musical artists in the music business? Certain things that kill them early.
I think number one thing is that same thing.
Yeah.
Where you're a superstar and you're young and all these things are happening at the same time, and you have no time to orient yourself. There's no orientation.
Yeah.
So from you not, because you seeing things on TV or other people experiencing, it's very different, from you
yourself actually experiencing. So great stuff. Let's talk about what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to come up with your own record label. How's that going?
So we already have founder of Alpha Entertainment. So of course it runs independently. There's Dice, who's studio manager, and other people who run Alpha Entertainments. But that's like my baby.
Okay.
But I think it's time for new blood. It's time we gave other new artists.
You passed on baton to some people.
A shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I can't talk too much about it because we haven't really launched it. But I'm working with 5 young artists.
Yeah.
Very soon we'll be able to make an official announcement.
Okay. I've been warned that we'll run out of time. So let me ask you some real life questions that will demand some quick answers, right? And I ask my guest these questions, all of them. So I won't spare you. What would you say are your core values in life?
Core values. So in simple terms, core values, Nish.
The things that you are that you are held by. If you're, how can I explain this? Shall I just remember, right? Me, I'm lost. Things that hold you by. It's like these are your pillars.
Okay, anyway. So and again, you excuse me.
Like one of my core values is integrity, right? Like I'm a guy of integrity or honesty. Like I want to be honest all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your values?
So I'm not a very, very religious person, but I was raised by Christians. I was raised in a Christian home. Okay. So faith is really big for me. Most of my success is really associated to God. Like I really believe like
God is behind all.
So quite important to talk about the more you know, the more you start asking questions, and it's hard to believe certain things, and it's hard for you to have faith. You know what I mean? The more you that's why they say ignorance is bliss. It's because people who are ignorant have less headaches.
Yeah.
They are the happiest people.
Yeah.
They are least depressed people.
Yeah.
What you want, no one hurt you. The more you know, the more your brain starts processing and asking questions and ABCD. So even in this day and age, it's hard to believe in God or to really to have faith.
To have faith.
But that's something that is big for me.
Okay.
Because I've just been through things where I just know, like, yo, there's a God out there looking out for me, man. This can only be God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I try by all means to just remind myself that.
Okay. God is there for you.
God is there for me.
What are your driving forces in life?
My goals.
I know poverty is one of them. Like you mentioned, you've mentioned all this time.
So,
yeah.
So, actually, yeah. One is like my goals. I have like big dreams for myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't talk about that. I can't preempt. They can't cure what they don't know. So yeah, so one, like my dreams, like keep me up at night, you know what I mean? They make me wake up early in the morning. Two is so you're just afraid of going back.
Yeah.
Going back. You think of where you come from, and it's
you don't want to
frightening.
Go back there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Those two things, I think, drive me and keep me motivated or keep me fired up.
What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment in life so far?
Oh man, my dreams came true 1,000,000 times. So like, so many accomplishments. Like when we started, we didn't even think all this stuff was possible.
Yeah.
All we wanted to do was to record a song and listen to it at home. Then that happened. Then all we wanted to do was to record a song that could play on radio. And then that happened to winning awards and doing all these amazing things, you know, like it's been an amazing journey and it's far from over. Okay. But now I get the most joy from just small things like teaching my daughter how to ride a bike, or my youngest son saying my name as his first words, you know what I mean? So those things make you feel like you've accomplished something. Yeah. For me, like my main thing was just to be happy, and unfortunately for me to be happy, I need money, so I just end up doing all these external things. But I think the main thing that I ever wish for myself is just to just be happy. Happiness. You know? Yeah.
What would you say, I know you don't like regretting, but what would you say has been the biggest mistake of your life, and how did you learn from it?
I think the biggest mistake of my life is losing that sense of agency that I had. Somehow I allowed myself, that same thing I was saying, like at the morning, I wish
you had that same
still
fire.
Had that same, like the last few years, I have really tried to get every opportunity that I can get and really treat it seriously. Yeah. But I think there was a long stretch where I took things for granted and I just felt like, what for now, this weekend, again, you know, that sort of thing. But every person's got what is called their 5 minutes of fame or 15 minutes of fame. And not even like associated to music or entertainment, but every person's got like that one time where they need to do something with their life.
The light is shining on them and they need to take kind of...
Exactly. You need to do something
with your life.
Yeah. And people get there and things are working for them, but I don't think they maximize. So I think
opportunity.
I've had a lot of situations where if I had maximized there, I would have been in a different place. Wow. I think I'm confident there'll be other opportunities. So I want that. I'm in a completely different mindset now.
What would you say has been the most important thing you've learned in life so far?
And I think I learned this like years back, that it's really all dependent on me. Yeah. People always say like, the people on the left are always like, guy, we all have 24 hours. You know what I mean? You need to use it and ABCD and ABCD. The people on the right are like, guy, there are people who are born with silver spoons in their mouths. We are not on the same level. You know what I mean? People have like opportunities that other people will never have. It's not a leveled playing field. But at the end of the day, I just really think it's really dependent on me.
You have to take personal responsibility.
I try by all means not to be entitled. You know what I mean? I have friends who are millionaires. Yeah. I can't like put my life in those people's hands and just like, guy, mpanga kona ene, you know, that sort of thing. I think I should earn every little thing I get. So
If you could turn back the time and speak to the 18-year-old Macky II, what would you tell him?
Keep believing, it's gonna happen.
If you could meet 3 people in your life and have dinner with them, who would they be and why?
Both my parents, just to, you know, like, I just feel like some of your greatest moments or your greatest achievements are you only really feel like you're fulfilled if you share them with people who sacrifice so much for you to even be in those places. So Those two, and also who's the third person? Oh man. Kanye West had this quote to his biggest regret was he would never ever be able to watch himself perform live. Unfortunately, I can't find the third person, but I'll stick to those two people.
That's fine. Favorite book of all time?
48 Laws of Power or Law of Attraction. Art of War. I need to pick between 48 Laws of Power and Art of War.
If you're not listening to Macky II, who are you listening to?
Strangely enough, I never listened to Macky II. And my playlist is always changing. The artist I used to listen to last week is not the artist I listen to now, because I need to introduce myself.
Who are your 5 favorites?
Nas, Kanye, Mr. VZ, Jay-Z, one more, Hobson.
No Zambian artists there. Okay, mention Zambian artists.
But you just told me to mention 5 people.
Yes.
Yes, these are my favorite.
Okay, 5 from local.
My favorite, I think Mr. VZ was on that list.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Mr. VZ was on that list. Mr. VZ is Zambian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Never big fan of when I'm going to list you for done.
No, it's fine. I won't push you. You want to say something?
No. I listen to I listen to like a lot of Zambian music and a lot of Western music, and the world is really becoming a global village. Afrobeat or African music in general is becoming huge all over the world.
Yeah.
And because of that, we can't just stick to what we like, especially like people like me who are really involved in the music industry. I need to listen to everything so that I know exactly where the industry is headed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Your last words to someone who gets to be inspired by Macky II. Here are my 4 principles: faith, hard work, determination, and focus. Faith is because you need to see it for yourself for it to happen. It can't happen if you don't see it happening for yourself. So you need to believe that it's going to happen. Determination is it's not going to happen overnight, or it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard, but you need to be determined for you to keep going. Hard work, simple. Everybody knows you have to work hard. It's a no-brainer. You have to work hard. And focus is, in this world we live in, you can spend 24 hours watching just random videos on TikTok. You know what I mean? You need to draw goals for yourself so that it's easy for you to achieve them. Stay focused on those same goals. Thank you so much, DJ Buga. I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming out. God bless you, man, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks, bro.
Peace. We out.
Every new sun is to a farmer a new opportunity to feed the nation. He plows and harvests with only one objective in mind: supply his always happy customers. And that's who a Kamono farmer is. At Kamono Farms Initiative, our goal is to make agriculture profitable for every bottom of the pyramid farmers, getting farmers into the agribusiness economy as their own bosses, who are not only consumers, but market value producers as well. Kamono Farms Initiative is changing the agribusiness landscape by offering a superior service, full-cycle farm activity that is market-driven as we manage value chains and supply on crops, livestock, and aquaculture. Kamono Farms, operating with transparency and integrity as we offer services of contract farming, outgrower scheme, supply commodity, and farming inputs.